Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Max. Let's take a look. The market's been open. Let's take a look and see how these Defiance funds opened. Okay. Let's start here. We'll just look at the real spreadsheet real quick. These guys sold the 18,880 strike for 62 bucks. Break even's 18,817. Right now, the market's trading at 18,780. So we're well under that. So we're going to have a loss whenever this starts updating. Unfortunately, we can see how much. All right. Unfortunately, right now it's $100 in the money. They sold this option. Sorry, they sold this option for $62. Now it's worth $100. That accounts for the loss. All right. So, yeah, here's a chart. Here's the S&P opening. It's a pretty big gap down. Here's Nasdaq. It's actually not as big on a comparative basis. Nasdaq looks a little stronger and is actually recovering fast. Hopefully it'll keep moving up. Let's check Russell, usually the strongest or the weakest. This morning, the weakest, for sure the weakest, because it opened down and it's moving lower. Unlike the Nasdaq, which opened down but is moving higher. Tell of two markets today. Okay, well, let's go back here and let's look at, here's IWMY. These guys trade the Russell. All right, so they sold the 2075 strike for 11 bucks. Well, right now the market's trading around 2040. So let's see how many points in the money that is. It's going to be the difference between the strike price and the market price right now, right? About 35 bucks. Okay, so they sold something for 11. They would have to cover for 35 right now. So that's accounting for a $1.9 million loss. Okay, so yeah, IWMY is definitely the weakest today. We'll look at JEPY. So JEPY, they sold the 5310 strike 244 times for 10 bucks. So right now the market's trading at 52.71, which is a problem when you sell the 5310 put, because that means the market is in the money, the difference between 5310 and 5371, which is 39 bucks. So that's accounting for about a $700,000 loss. These guys were just trying to make $250,000. These guys have kind of been on a bad streak lately. I haven't really noticed it. These guys have had a little bit of a tougher time. Look at old Triple QY just killing it. You know, the past couple of days, you know, Triple QY's lost 4 times this month. JEPY's lost 4 times this week, or, you know, 4 times out of the last 5 occurrences. Now, there's no big losses in there. They're still doing, you know, pretty well and up 12 cents a share. So, all right. So yesterday, let's check these dividend estimates. Let's make sure everything looks good on these things. 110. Just look at these numbers and make sure they've caught the most recent data points in there. So yes, this one's at 60 cents right now for JEPY. IWMY, let's make sure it has the most recent data points. Well, what did I do wrong there? All right, so that one looks pretty darn good. That one looks really good. But now let's look at the wins and losses on IWMY. They've really had some problems the last couple of days. All right, well, anyway, Interesting. They've had some problems with the wins and losses, but the dividend estimate's high. It's just kind of the way it goes. The ones that lose more NAV have higher dividends, and the ones that don't have the problems with the NAV have lower dividends. So I guess it's just a trade-off. All right, let's look over here at the charts real quick. So I want to start by looking at Bitcoin because we do that every day. It's just chopping down here at 67,000. All right, so here's Coinbase. Okay, look at Coinbase pull back a little bit, which isn't the worst thing ever since they were about to blow out their strikes. So that's good. That's good news for Coney. I mean, or neutral news for Coney. Okay, let's check out Tesla, see how it opened today. It's just straight in the middle. Okay, if it just stays here, these calls will be a full profit. The puts will be a full profit. And if you are somebody that has both funds, which doesn't hedge you against all losses or anything, but in the case that it can help you the most is in a sideways market because you can make money on both sides. But if you have according to Jay Petrocelli's interview last night with the coach, if you don't count on these to hedge each other in a big move, and of course we understand how that'll work because the one side's going to be capped. That's the way these work, and the other side's going to get not all the downside, but a good portion of it while one side's capped. So that it would create a loss in those circumstances. But under normal circumstances, and that's what Jay was saying, when you have a market that stays between the two strikes, under the call strikes and above the put strikes, you can win on both sides and make a nice premium. But he was just trying to say, don't think it's going to protect you in a black swan. And that is a fair point. Okay. But under normal circumstances, I think it could, dampen your volatilities from just having Tesla alone to have Tesla and crash. All right. So that's Tesla. Let's look down here let's just check out AMD. Okay. That's nothing to see. Gap down, kind of chopping sideways. Okay. Well, look at NVIDIA. So this is the first day NVIDIA hasn't gapped up, or the first morning in a while that it hasn't gapped up. So now it's trading in the prior day's range, which is more how normal stocks trade. They go up and then they chop for a few days and go up. It's not normal just to go up every day like this one seems to do. Great for shareholders. I don't have any NVIDIA. I had to buy the Defiance funds because I like indexes. All right. But I wish I would have got NVIDIA. NVIDIA would have done better. Anyway, hindsight is always 2020. So these guys, MicroStrategy, still have 2-strike ladder above them. They're still in good shape. We'll check out Amazon just because I've been doing it lately. We're hoping that Amazon can break out of this, or I'm hoping. I don't have any AMZ, but I know a lot of people do. And let's see here. Just kind of keep an eye on this. We're hoping they can establish above this bull wedge, above this line, and then hopefully they can start trending upwards. I'm sure shareholders would be happy to see that. It may be early to check out the buffer report, but let's just click on it and see. You see a lot of red on the screen. Okay, so let's look real quick. So, of course, all the benchmarks are down. As far as outperformers, we have QDTE outperforming on the way down, but I never know if they just paid a dividend the day before and the machine didn't pick it up. These guys that pay weekly dividends, anyway. But in any event, if that is a true number, that's not good. TUGN leading on the way down. iSpy leading on the way down. YMAX leading on the way down, but it is early today. So so Tress is on the good list, and that's probably because volatility's ticked up. Bali's on the good list. Nice job, Bali. And then as far as the ones that have the most buffer, the ones that are doing the best job protecting you, If you just wanted to say right now at this point in the day, IQQQ, NUSI, SPY-T, FEPI are catching the least downside. They're doing the best job protecting you. And QYLD is doing a great job too. All right, I guess, yeah, Moderna, they were down big yesterday. Now AMD's joined the party today, dropping 3%. Or AMD, well, AMD's dropping 4%. AMD dropped 3%. Same thing with Coney. Coney dropping 3.5%. Or Coney dropping 2.5%. Coinbase dropping 3.5%. Tesla leading on the way down at this early point in the day, but not as much as TSLP is. TSLP is even down worse than TSLY today. All right, but it's kind of early to even be looking at this stuff. Let me let you guys get back to your day. I know your time's valuable. I'll be back at lunch, and we'll see what's happening at that point in the day. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much for listening to my update. Talk to you soon.